this dummy thick. This is the iFi Neo iDSD, which sounds a hell of a lot like the iFi iDSD Signature or the iFi Nano iDSD, because just pick a different name. It doesn't matter that it's the iDSD, unless they have that trademark. I think that's helping them. So this might be iFi's first amp DAC combo after the one that I've told everyone to buy, because everyone's like, hey, I got a brand new set of headphones, Zeos. I got about $100 to spend in an amp DAC combo. And I'm like, take your $100, now I had $30, and buy the iFi Zen DAC. Because the iFi Zen DAC was an amp DAC combo for $130, USB in, balanced out through 4.4, had a 4.4 Pentacon on the front, has X-Bass, beautifully built. To this moment, for the last year and a half, it's like, that's the one to get. That's it. Why would you get anything else? Yes, you can get like a FIO K3, but why? But there's no other reason to get anything other than that as the combo. So when they said, hey, we have this new desktop Ultra HD DAC Plus headphone amp, and headphone amp is lowercase, I don't know why. Do you want to try it? I'm like, fuck. I was just literally screaming fuck, and then I saw it. And I'm like, oh my quad. Oh my quad. Because this is frankly the prettiest fucking piece of equipment. And I don't run it like this. This is how peasants run it. It comes with that. And this is what you're gonna do, is you're gonna take it and you're gonna turn it into what people are gonna confuse as your cable modem. Of course, it's got the Bluetooth antenna that does LDAC on the back of it, and the screen is an OLED that rotates. Oh, gotta clean the glass. So, before we talk about how this sounds, can we talk about how it looks? Because besides the fact it kind of reminds me of a cable modem or a router or someone's cable router, it's like, yeah, it's a cable router. This thing looks spectacular. iFi's other devices, things like this. You remember I was talking about the iDSD Signature, which is definitely not to be confused with the iDSD Neo? This is like, okay, I get it. It's got a bunch of shit crammed on there. It's a big box, it's chunky, and you hang it around. But this is like it's silver, but it's got this little like crease in the center that goes down. Then the front is like cupped out. Like a blast happened and it knocked it in. Then you've got these like strips, these deep. Do you know how much that's cut? That goes all the way down the face of the unit to the fucking knob. Then the knob is this knurled, beautiful. It's a digital volume knob, but it's not. They scream about it in the manual. It's an analog volume knob, because only analog volume knobs here at iFi. But they basically fucking say. So, it's got this little square screen. I've ruined it. I've ruined this whole review. Do I even have a fucking cleaning wipe? Baby, I'm so sorry. You'll be back to normal in any time. Great. So then it's got this like, it's not just cut in this way. It's spherically cut, like machined out of the fascia, so that the knob is put in the back, and then you push the knob to do various functions like mute, or you hold it for 3 seconds to adjust the brightness, which has a choice of high, low, or off. And high and low are so different that I can't tell. Like, I can't look at it and go, oh, that's FE on low. You won't be able to tell either. Off will just turn it off if it's nothing being interacted with. And then, so after these two slits end at the volume, then there's another giant slit that appears that has this glowing white, which I actually prefer the glowing like warm white of the picture in the box. This is a glowing cool white. But do you see it like glowing there? And that's your power indicator. But guess what's in this channel that looks like the Death Star channel when they flew down with the X-Wings? And it's like, it's so deep. You have these two buttons that are like, why are they wiggly? Because the buttons have to stick out from the bottom of the channel, so you get to see the entire length of the button. And then it ends up, after this channel, the channel gets interceded by this like rose gold block, which cuts off the channel in the middle, which has got the 1/4 inch and the 4.4 Pentacon connector. And it's like, this is fucking astonishing looking. I'm so bored with fucking audio equipment that this is like, Does anybody else see this? Yeah, this is wood and everything, but shit like that is like, So I was like, before I even turned this fucking thing on. It was like, And then we look at the back of it, which I'm going to try to... That's fine. I didn't need that to stand up anyway. And besides, again, looking like a fucking cable modem, because I like it vertical. I do like it on this thing, which has foam that grabs it and keeps it from getting scratched. You get your Bluetooth antenna, which comes in white, which I don't know if that helps or hurts the looks. Then you have your 5-volt input, 2.5 amp 5-volt input, a QR code. You have a USB that's one of these style fucking USB 3.1s, like the heavy fucking duty one. I think for like 3 months in my life, this was a thing, and then it stopped being a thing. But iFi continues to make that a thing. And it only comes with this very, very short one, which kind of upsets me. I actually had to go into my pile of USB cables and find another longer one to actually use it, because I'm going to be honest, this is too short to be considering it starts up here. That means you've got it literally for a laptop, or you have to have it glued to the side of your computer. That's the only way that this length cable is going to work. And the one I got isn't that much longer, but I'll tell you, you ask anybody if 10 extra inches helps. Trust me, 10 extra inches helps. Ask your mama. So it comes with this cable. And I think it'll work with a regular cable too. I don't think you need that. But they put it on anyway because iFi is fucking strange. It's just like this. It's like iFi is doing that still instead of just USB-C. They obviously have the connectors in stock, but they still do this. Why? I don't know. Third base. So that's there. Then I have a fiber optic input. Then below it here is the coaxial digital. By the way, the caps that they put on are better than everyone else's caps because they're silicone. They're soft and squishy. I save them all. Usually they're that hard plastic and I gotta get a fucking pliers out to get them off the caps. And it just keeps the gold connectors from getting all fucky. And then below here, we've got these beautifully plugged in world's best XLRs. $50 for 4 4-footers, by the way, with the huge button with Amphinols. It's great. So you got your balanced left and right outputs, and you got your unbalanced left and right outputs. Again, actually, we put the caps back on because I'm not using the RCAs for this test. And if I would just buy a 50-pack of these from you, iFi. Please sell that on their site. 50-pack for like $12. Done. Let's cap all my RCAs for shits and giggles. So there's the back of your unit. You got power in. You have your choice of 4 inputs: Bluetooth, USB, coaxial digital, and fiber optic. Then you have your outputs in the back, which are balanced or unbalanced. I have the balanced ones running to the Tor balance here, which is currently pushing my 909s. We'll get to it because there's a reason. So I got my Sennheiser HD600s on a custom green Periapt. I think they called this the snake cable. Maybe they didn't call this a snake. I don't know. I wouldn't want to find it in the jungle. And we're going to plug this into the front here. And the screen tells us PCM 44 kilohertz, negative 30 decibels, and it shows a very small picture of the input. The 2 buttons here, by the way, the bottom one is power. Can you guess what the power buttons do? CU, it says CU, and a little progress bar that shows it shutting down. That probably just disconnected that. Yeah, that disconnected the Bluetooth because I was connected to the Shanling M8 just to use it for Bluetooth because LDAC. Let's turn this back on. Welcome, little progress bar, volume set, negative 30, boom. If you want this to be a full line out, I actually read the manual. You can do it by holding down the button here and then turning it on, and then it'll be a line out in the back and you'll lose the ability to control the volume. However, should I talk about how great it sounds and how amazing, like clean, and I love my HD600s on it, and at the price, it's like, this is fucking fantastic? Or should I start complaining? Because I love this unit. You're going to buy this unit, but I'm going to just fucking punch the shit out of it. I'm going to turn to Rocky Balboa and punch it for just... because I understand the capabilities that iFi has and what they can offer, and they just didn't do it. And it's like I use this thing on my desk upstairs, my office, like for 2 weeks. straight, just HE600s. I had, I think, what other headphones did I have in there? Those acoustic research ones, up to planars. And I'm like, it sounds so good. Where's X-Bass? Where's 3D Plus? Where's IEM Match? Where's all the shit that's like, where's high-low gain? This unit, for as beautiful as it is, and expensive as it is, it's $700, has no features. It has a remote. I put it back in the plastic. I didn't even add a battery to it. You know why? Brightness, mute, volume up and down, input up and down at the end. It's got an OLED screen that will rotate depending on the orientation of the unit. It has no settings. There's nothing to set. They're going for absolute purity. And IFI, I love you, but you have some of the best switchy switches with this magic surround sound fucking bass boost in the business. Why isn't it on here? Why? Am I still on this bit? Why is this playing and this playing? I can unplug the headphones and the output of the XLRs is still pushing that. But when I plug this in, now they're just both playing. So I have the option to hold the power button, hold the big knob and then turn it on and have it be a line out in the back. But I don't have the option with all the beautifulness to be like, you turn the rears off, because maybe if that's going to speakers, because it's a pre-out, I can control the output of XLR and RCA. So if I got a pair of powered monitors off my wall and I set them up on stands, I can control the volume. But if my headphones are plugged in, my headphones are playing. And then if I'm like, all right, I'm done with these powered monitors, I just want to listen to my headphones, fuck you. Unplug your powered monitors, because we can't cut the signal off out the back. There's no to make the, and I read through the manual. Look, it's right here. Look, to prove that I read it. Here it is. It's very plain, written, all in English. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. Hold it on for 3 seconds for the brightness. It's great. It's great. I love this unit. You're good. It sounds fan-fucking-tastic. It leans, if we're talking about the road again, where things lean towards the super fucking linear or a little bit more fun, all you got to do is look at the total harmonic distortion plus noise numbers in this. They're not that great. They're honestly, like, for $700, if I pull this out or versus the A50S, where's our total harmonic distortion plus noise? 0.0015. Only 2 zeros after the decimal point. That's like, those things are like 4 zeros, but that's not a negative. Here's the thing. Listen to the words that are coming out of my fucking mouth before you jump to conclusions. I've said this before in other reviews. I'll say it now. There's a divide in the way headphone amplifiers are sounding. It's either going to sound very fucking neutral and linear with all the zeros, or you're going the other way where it's actually enjoyable to listen to. And I said that this leans towards the very, very linear, but has switches, so it's sort of like King Silver. This is probably going dead straight and then leaning to the right. It just leans to the right. Things sound wonderful on it. Things sound warm and luscious. But that's it. You just get what it is. How much power do you want? Whatever it has. Can I shut the backs? No. X-Bass? No. Nope. So, I mean, I don't want to hate on it for that, but this is IFI we're talking about. Even their, like, little $130 DAC amp combo had a bass boot, had the bass X button, which was like, oh my God, I fucking love touching it. And this, while it sounds fantastic, doesn't give you the option. Gives you great Bluetooth, gives you a fucking fantastic design. I'm just a little bit upset, unless they're coming out with like $1,000 one that has the X-Bass and the IEM match and multiple gain modes. Basically everything that this has as a feature, this doesn't have as a feature, except for the outputs. It's literally got the exact, and they're the same price. This is $650, this is $700. So you slide this on the desk next to it and go, oh, and this is only 1 watt per channel. 1. This is 4. And again, I'm not going to go and say, well, it should have more power. I don't think it needs more power, considering it runs specifically off of their 5-volt power supply, which, you know, I don't know why they're running it off. Like, it's a normal plug, but it's a 5-volt power supply. And they specifically say, and this sort of, I thank God I read the manual, they specifically say, if you want the best performance out of your $700 DAC amp, don't forget to upgrade the power supply to IFI's special linear power supply that's, 5-volt. And I went, ha, I've got the topping P50 that has USB outs that are specifically linear. So I found a wire that is USB to the plug. So now I'm powering this not off the unit that it came with, but that I don't really know is the difference. I love this fucking thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm complaining a lot. I'm yelling a lot. I'm very animated a lot. I love this fucking unit. The looks and the sound make up for the lack of features. It's just that I kind of I would just fucking doubly love it with features. Because some of them are annoying, like not being able to turn off, like if I unplug this, and then I unpause this, or if I switch to Bluetooth, which is this one, that's coaxial digital, that's USB, there's Bluetooth.
Your device is connected. LDAC.
That's the voice from fucking Resident Evil. So this unit, all like Bluetooth devices have like a voice, and the Grado one sounds like an intern that works at Grado. Connected. Bluetooth connected. And then the Chinese ones, like the really Chinese ones, are like, Bluetooth connected. It's very fucking like, that's a Chinese woman saying that. And this IFI one is fucking the Resident Evil AI. I love it. I first got to hear it today because I'm like, I better test the Bluetooth. I better test it. And it's like, you're all going to die down here. And I'm like, fuck yes. Add that to the list of positive things. Just put that on the floor for a second. No, I don't want to drop that on the floor. I wish this was $500, and I wish that I knew that there was a $1,000 one that had all the other options I'm asking for. But I'm gonna give it a full recommendation. It's too pretty. Other than I'm taking my camera off my head now so I can really get in close. So you guys can see the cuts, the slices through the metal and the glass, and the machining on the knob, and then it goes down to these buttons that are just like, look, they're like little, you could see the depth of the button. It's just the prettiest fucking thing. As long as it doesn't look like a goddamn, router. So you could definitely, like, if I had this on my desk next to a cable modem and someone broke into my house, they wouldn't even think about stealing it because it looks like a cable modem. I mean, you could just take the Bluetooth antenna off if you don't want to use that, and that sort of cleans it up. Or you could do the thing where you lay it down, which, by the way, it'll only rotate the screen if you turn it screen left. If you turn it screen right, it does not rotate that way. And I feel like that's a missed opportunity to just give people the freedom they want, IFI. Let us turn it to the right. They're NASCAR fans. Only left turns. Only left. So you can run it like this. It comes with, where's my shit? Here's what it comes with. Little silicone feet if you want it. Comes with a 1/4-inch adapter. These really nice, super low profile ones that IFI includes. Comes with the standard complement of IFI RCA cables, caps for the everything. It's boring this way. It's still beautiful. It's still beautiful. The amount of desk space it saved when I did this, though, which you could see the, is this foam or silicone? I don't know what this is. It's nice. It's nice. You just slide this on in there. Slide it in there and just go push it down and give it a little like, There you go. I absolutely love the way this fucking thing sounds. Like it hits all the right notes, even at only a watt per channel or 1.04 watts per channel. I forget what's in the manual on the floor now. It's absolutely perfect for a desk. It sounds like a $500 stack. It just creamies everything up. It's balanced. It's got this nice volume knob that isn't digital, even though it's a clicky click digital. No, it's not. It's doing analog circuitry things. Yeah, so this is unplugged. So now it's running off the back of that, and I can max this out to zeros, and then I can control it here. Because that indicates, I mean, other than this being like one of my favorite tube amps of all time, we're still DACing it with this, and the DAC is just, so I'm going to hold this down, and then I'm going to turn this on fixed or variable. So let's go fixed. Welcome. The progress loading bars. I can't. Oh, yeah, baby.
Your device is connected. LDAC.
You're all going to die down here. Okay, so now that must mean that's that. Yeah. So now I've disconnected the front and the rear. So I should be able to plug these in. Yeah. I have control over the volume of the headphone out, and the rear out is now fixed, which would be perfect because it's a separate, its own amplifier. It's doing its thing, right? Here. Because I'm down 87 decibels here. But it still doesn't let me shut off the rears. Off. So that I could just have speakers. For this sort of purpose, for a separate DAC or separate amp that's got its own volume control, or for a speaker amp that's got its own volume control, not as big a deal. But I always, when I look at something like this, I go, oh, powered monitors. Because it's got a variable output. So, of course, I want powered monitors. And even it wouldn't be a variable output if it wouldn't want you to control it via a remote control. And then you have to, then you got to unplug the front, and then you can't leave them on at the same time. It's just, it's little things. They could fix this in a second revision. And I hope that enough people buy this that they're like, oh, shit, that was a super popular one. Let's do the V2, which will be named something like the iDSD 2 Neo Squared by IFI. That'll be the fucking title. I know it. Instead of just being like, I don't know, the Desk series. Call it the Desk series or something. Who cares if it does iDSD? I don't care if it does DSD. Currently Bluetooth out of this. Odessa. Boy. Fucking Bruce Springsteen. Oh, I want to lower this all the way down so I could use the DAC output, which is fucking very good. All right, now I want to switch inputs because it's input and Bluetooth input. Now we're on fiber optic. So now I've got that running and her. Not this down. Oh, another thing that's a missed opportunity, IFI. It's almost perfect for a headphones. It's just the wires hit the table. It just had like 1.5 inches more, like that much more. So when you include some weird shit in the box, like you always include weird shit in the box, if you included like a special padded, perfectly, and magnets, put magnets in the padding and have it so that there's magnets hidden in the unit. And when you put it on, it goes, whoop, and then it could just be a headphone stand too. Oh, I want to build this perfect thing. Please call it the Zeos Edition and let me rename it for you so it doesn't sound stupid. Because it could be just, it could be so fucking perfect. It could be so fucking perfect. It's almost perfect. It sounds perfect. But it just lacks those, like, the X bass and then a headphone stand, which is extra. But then the ability to shut off the back end, even if it was a button in the rear. Like, honestly, I hate, like, controls in the rear. But even if I had to reach back here and find a little click push button or a digital button, they just went, okay, now the rears are off. Now the rears are on. I'd be okay with that. Big indicator on the fucking screen, make the screen maybe a little bit bigger so I could just okay, I don't want the rears outputting to my speakers, or I do. I mean, if you could fit it on the front, that's great. Or if there's a menu, like every SMSL piece of shit fucking app has a fucking full menu with like multiple levels that we can navigate into, which I could turn things on and off. And that would be at least doable. Because right now there's just it's just nah. So I get the purest aspect of this. They're going for purity. It's just like, all right, in, and then everything's out. And then music. But give me some options. So I love this thing. It's on Amazon for $700. And let me see. I didn't actually see if it has. It's got 1 rating of 5 stars. Sounds beautiful. Being able to file form as a screen rate. My problem is in vertical mode, the bottom input button has a bit of a play. However, it could just be on my unit. I mean, they both wiggle around. I don't care. That's literally nothing. Switch between the digital. There's a problem sometimes when I'm switching digital inputs. I have to restart the unit to fix. Works good. He's using MQA DSD in it on JRiver. So he's having a problem where he switches inputs and something doesn't work. I've not had that problem. We can go coaxial, USB, even Bluetooth doesn't disconnect. So that's another either benefit or detriment, depending on how you want to look at it. That must have been one of the things that was stealing my fucking output. No, because the Bluetooth is still playing and running, even though we were not on that specific input. Bruce Springsteen's still playing. Now the computer's playing, but Bruce Springsteen's still playing. It's still connected. And then when we turn it off, see you. Ooh. Then that will disconnect and that'll switch to a play button. Because it's like, oh shit, my unit's gone. I love you, IFI. I've got IFI things. I love IFI things. Sometimes they're a little bit too much, and sometimes they're a little bit not enough. But it always sounds good. So I'm gonna give this the big Zeos nod. I'm gonna give it that wallpaper because she's classy. It's a lot classy. But and I'm not into like RGB. But another thing I do is that front LED that lights up that looks like it's warm white on that and cold white on this. If that was RGB and I could set that to like a green, a red, or a blue, or, you know, give me a volume, change color, and it just spins and there's like 256 different RGB combinations. Like I could get that to a purple to match my keyboard. I'm just saying, this is like me, this is Zeos's Christmas list. It's sitting on Santa's lap, what I want. Could you imagine if you could change that LED and then they'd have to also continue the LED to fill like the whole thing down and maybe like down here, like it could be done. It's doable. Everything I want in life is doable. And I think IFI would be one of the places to do it. So, yes, thank you IFI for sending this to me. I'm sorry I had so much to yell about, but I love it. I fucking love it. You can tell when I like a product, and just for it not being boring looking would have given me like, oh, I got to give this a nod. But then it sounds like it does, and I'm like, oh, God, I wish it had all these other things. So it's like, it's so close to perfect, but not quite. And again, for $700, it should be closer to perfect, but it still sounds fucking $700. But then again, you could also just buy this and then have that be your desktop amp with RCA outputs and then, you know, not balanced. Okay, whatever. We're done. The wallpaper in the description. Patreon and subscribe star. Fuel the fire of my stomach. Literally, I buy food with it. So if you'd like to see these reviews early and participate in the yard sales, which happen from the 1st to the 10th of every month, you can join either one of those. There is a short period of time where I am able to answer $5 patron questions because there's a chat that I've added that'll be disappearing at probably 20th of January or the end of January, depending on how many people see the unveil vid and get in there to ask me the questions. There is a $10 behind the scenes Patreon chat that gives you all the, when I'm building those racks and stuff, like everything I'm doing, when I unbox this, you guys get pictures in the $10 chat. They know everything that's going on. They have their own little environment that's just above everything else. And there will be, for supporters of my channel, a total support, a lifetime support thing where if you're above a certain amount, you'll be in a lifetime channel, which will have far less people in it because you can buy your way in if you just throw a fucking bunch of money at it. But if you've just been a patron of mine for long enough, you're just put in that place and I'll answer all your questions and you'll never leave. There'll never be a purge of that place. So please feel free to use that to support the channel. If you just want to hang out with other like-minded enthusiasts, please check out the Hi-Fi Guides forum. Hi-Fi Guides in the forum are linked in the description, I believe. Either that or you got to go to Streamer Links to find all the links to everything. It's actually growing up really, really nice. I love the way that the forum has sort of exploded without me. I had my back turned and I turned around and it's this giant wall of like chaos and I love that. Yeah, we're good. I'm good. You're good. We're good. She good. This is good. It's just, But thank you all and I'll see you tomorrow for another review.